Most compost takes months. This one takes just 2 weeks. If your food scraps are still looking like trash after a month, let's be honest. You're not composting. You're just piling stuff up. But don't worry. Today, I'm going to show you the simple, reliable system that turns your kitchen scraps into real, finished, usable soil in only 14 days. You won't need any fancy tools. There's no guessing involved. We're just going to learn how soil actually works. First, let's get one thing straight. Soil isn't just dirt. It's alive. It's a bustling city of tiny microbes that eat organic matter. And when these little guys have the right combination of food, air, and water, they work incredibly fast. As they work, they generate a lot of heat. That heat is the secret to everything we're doing today. When a compost pile gets hot, it doesn't smell bad. It doesn't attract pests. Most importantly, it breaks everything down way, way faster than a cold, slow pile. So if your pile gets hot, that's your first sign that you're doing it right. Now, if you want to get your compost hot, there's really only one rule you need to remember. Think of it as a simple recipe. 50/30ths, 20. 50% of your pile should be browns. These are dry, carbon-rich materials like dead leaves, shredded cardboard, newspaper, or wood chips. Next, 30% of your pile should be greens. These are the nitrogen-rich, wet materials like your kitchen food scraps, used coffee grounds, fresh grass clippings, or trimmings from your garden. Finally, 20% is water. And this part is key. You don't want the pile soaked, and you don't want it dry. It should feel like a well-wrung-out sponge. If you can only remember one thing from this entire video, remember that 50/30/20ths ratio. Browns, greens, water. That's the foundation for success. Okay, let's talk about building the pile itself. Size really does matter here. For the pile to generate and hold enough heat, it needs to be at least 3 feet wide, 3 feet long, and 3 feet tall. Not any smaller than that, and it just won't get hot enough to work quickly. The key is to build it all at once, or at least very quickly. You'll build it in layers. Start with a layer of browns. Then add a layer of greens. Sprinkle it with some water, and then just repeat that process. Browns, greens, water. Don't waste your time trying to make it look perfect or pretty. The microbes don't care about aesthetics. When you've used all your materials and your pile is the right size, finish with a nice thick layer of browns on top. This top layer acts like a blanket. It helps keep the smells down, and more importantly, it traps the heat inside. So how do you know if it's actually working? Within about 2 or 3 days, you should be able to feel some warmth coming from the pile. By day 4, it should be noticeably hot. If you have a compost thermometer, that's great. You're aiming for a core temperature somewhere between 130 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit, but you absolutely do not need one. Here's the low-tech method. Carefully put your hand near the center of the pile. If it's so hot that you instinctively want to pull your hand back, then congratulations, your microbes are having a party and winning the composting game. That heat is the sign of rapid decomposition, which is exactly what we want. Around day 5 to 7, it's time to turn the pile. You only need to do this once. The goal is to mix everything up. You want to move the material from the cooler outside of the pile into the hot center, and take the material from the hot center and move it to the outside. This process adds a fresh supply of oxygen for the microbes and ensures that everything breaks down evenly. After you've turned it that one time, just leave it alone. A common mistake is thinking that more turning means faster compost. It doesn't. Overturning just cools the pile down and slows the whole process. So, turn it once, and then let the microbes finish their job in peace. Now, what if things go wrong? Let's cover the most common mistakes. If your compost pile starts to smell bad like ammonia or rotten eggs, that's a clear sign that it's either too wet or you have too many greens in your ratio. The fix is simple. Just mix in more browns. Dry leaves or shredded cardboard will soak up the extra moisture and balance out the nitrogen. What if your pile is cold and nothing seems to be happening? That usually means it's either too dry or too small. Try adding some water if it's already moist enough. You might just need to add more material to get it up to that minimum 3 by 3 foot size. And finally, if you start seeing flies or other pests, it almost always means some food scraps are exposed on the surface. The solution? Just cover them up with a fresh layer of browns. Remember, Almost all compost problems are just balance problems. Adjust the ratio and you'll fix the issue. So, when is it ready to use? In about 2 weeks, sometimes a little longer. You'll notice your pile has shrunk significantly, often by about half its original size. It will have turned a beautiful, dark, rich brown color. And when you smell it, it won't smell like garbage anymore. It will smell earthy and pleasant, like the forest floor after it rains. You should be able to recognize any of the food scraps or leaves that you originally put in. That dark, crumbly material is finished compost. This isn't just dirt. This is living soil packed with nutrients and beneficial microbes. You can use it right away in your garden, add it to your potting soil, or spread it on your flower beds. And that's it. That's the secret of soil. It's not about buying fancy products or relying on some kind of magic. It's just about creating balance and letting nature do its thing. If you know how to follow a simple recipe in the kitchen, then you already have all the skills you need to make incredible compost. If this video helped you understand the process, please comment the word compost below and let me know what you want to learn how to build next. Because when you learn to control your soil, you start to control your food. That is how we all grow, from soil to skillet. Thanks for watching.